Everything you need to know about Showtime Boxing, Premier Boxing Champs, latest upfront unveiling during the pandemic. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Patreon family. We working. Sign up for Patreon below, link in the description. Got some fun stuff coming, doing the group sessions. You can also become a YouTube channel member. Just hit the join button below this video. You don't want to miss it. Now, this the big one. This the big one. Most fans of boxing, we've had a slow start to the year. You know, before the year could really get off with big, solid events, we got about probably the Wilder Fury was, you know, the one that stands out to me. But 2 months in, we find out about this Rona and the pandemic, and live sports crashes for several months. Everybody's is brand new to everybody. We're trying to figure these things out as we go. We're still in it, you know, it's not over. So hopefully everyone's being safe. But what that's done for live sports, particularly boxing, which is an atmosphere that relies a lot on the live sport appeal, crowds and stuff. We've been starved out of boxing. Now, Top Rank did come back, which we'll talk about more in the back half of this. They came back with boxing. But in my opinion, what Showtime Boxing and Premier Boxing Champions have released today is the best sequence or series of fights since this year, you know, since we've been in this pandemic. And the great thing about this, and I'm going to give you everything you need to know about the Showtime upfront or unveiling. The great thing about it is these aren't really, in my opinion, these aren't pandemic quality fights. A lot of the fights, if you know the names, faces, and the players, they transcend just, it's not just like, oh, this is cool, I'll deal with this because we're in a pandemic. These are some good fights. We're going to talk about it. So I want to give you guys a little bit of a preview, tell you everything you need to know. Let's get it. So Showtime pinned this, says Showtime Boxing, 9 live events, 18 undefeated fighters, 9 world champions, 8 world championship fights. And this is just kind of an overview of the heavy hitters. And we'll go from left to right. Stephen, I think Cool Boy Fulton Jr., 18-0. He's fighting Mayweather Promotions, Angelo Leo. If you don't know these two guys, like you haven't been watching the PBC cards, right? You haven't watched Mayweather Promotion cards, but this is sleeper hit. You know, you got two guys who are undefeated, almost identical records. One's 18-0 with 8 knockouts. Stephen Fulton, slick. He's from Philly, I believe. And the other one's 19-0 with 9 KOs. They don't have to be fighting right now, but they are. They want to prove something, get it off their chest. Boom, like it. David Benavidez, WBC champion at super middleweight. I always forget how young this kid is because, you know, he's big and, he doesn't look, he's like 22, 23, whatever age he is, but he doesn't look it. You know what I'm saying? He still has so much developmental growth that he can do, but he's already a beast right now. He's fighting against Romer Alexis Angulo with a 26-1 and 22 knockout record. So he has one loss. That one loss is to Zurdo Ramirez, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, now a free agent. So if PBC and Showtime and Fox are smart, they would probably try to scoop up Zurdo. Because Benavidez and Zurdo, I heard their sparring back in the day was like pay-per-view type of material. So Zurdo Ramirez is now like separated deuces to Top Rank. And this is Zurdo's an undefeated fighter. He's the only guy to beat this Angulo dude. But it looks like this guy's a puncher. So I like it. David Benavidez just beat Anthony Durrell on the Errol Spence card, where Errol Spence fought Sean Porter. He was the co-feature with Anthony Durrell. Nobody has stopped Anthony Durrell until David Benavidez. So, you know, he deserves whatever fight is next. And that's this. Erickson Lubin, Terrell Goucher, Two guys that have kind of been at the top at the 154 came up short. Erickson Lubin, we all remember I think the Barclay fight with Charlo, the first round. Boom. He got crushed. He was out of here. Nasty knockout. But I liked Erickson Lubin's bounce back game. He only has the Charlo loss to Jermell, who's back a champion, which we'll get to Jermell next. Jermell and Jermall. He came back from that crushing knockout, and he's been looking good. I seen him on that Houston card. I was at that card for when Charlo fought Brandon Adams. He had a knockout on that card, and he fought Lattimore and some other guys. So he's been crawling and climbing his way back to the top of the rankings. Southpaw. Erickson Lubin, Terrell Goucher. Terrell Goucher came up short against Erislandy Lara. He didn't get stopped or anything, but that's a good fight. Both guys have one loss. And good thing about fights like this is this helps. I'm always a fan of unifications, undisputeds, or fights that help shape the division. Erickson Lubin and Terrell Goucher are a fight or so away from solidifying probably another big opportunity and or title fight. So I like this because what I'm about to tell you in the next couple of fights will make it make sense. PBC has basically done, they have really the control of 147 and 154 in terms of the bigger names. The only guy at 154 that's not aligned with PBC that's a belt holder is Patrick Teixeira, and he got knocked out by Curtis Stevens. He's with Golden Boy. He's not a big name. But in essence, what PBC has been doing for the last several years in the divisions that they have, 147, 154, is basically a tournament of sorts. You got Keith Thurman. He fought Danny Garcia. Keith Thurman fought Pacquiao when he came to PBC. Keith Thurman fought against Sean Porter, right? Danny, Pacquiao, Sean Porter. Danny has fought everybody he needed to at 140, moved up. He fought the Robert Guerreros. He fought Keith Thurman. He fought Sean Porter. He fought Brandon Rios coming off of the Thurman loss, I think it was, right? He fought Granados, and he's fought everyone, so they're kind of doing a round robin. Errol Spence fought Mikey Garcia, who was working with PBC. He fought Sean Porter, and now it looks like he's about to fight Danny Garcia. Same thing can be said if you guys peep the play with 154. So far, we've had Erislandy Lara fight Terrell Goucher. Erislandy Lara has also fought Canelo at 54. Erislandy Lara has fought Paul Williams. These are older because he's been in the game. But more recently for PBC, he fought Terrell Goucher. He fought Brian Castano, who's a ranked guy. He fought against Swift Jared Hurd, etc. Swift Jared Hurd fought against Julian J. Rock Williams. Julian J. Rock Williams fought against Rosario and lost. J. Rock fought Charlo when he was there. Jermell fought Tony Harrison twice. Jermell fought against Erickson Lubin already. Jermell fought against Charles Hatley already. You see what I'm saying? So in essence, you're getting one big round robin. You look at Swift Jared Hurd also had fought Austin Trout when he was there. He had also fought Tony Harrison, So you're seeing it's like a big musical chairs and round robin. So I like fights like Erickson Lubin, Terrell Goucher, because these are all top ranked guys, like top 10 guys. And you could clearly see it's kind of like an unannounced tournament, you know what I mean? Because Terrell Goucher, Erickson Lubin, you can mix and match them with Jared Hurd. Winner of that fight Jared Hurd. Why not? Winner of that fight Rosario Charlo, which I'm going to get to. Winner of that fight Erislandy Lara. I mean, there's just big opportunities and or title fights for him. Love it. Now, let's talk about Lions Only. Keep running your mouth. Keep running your mouth. This is crack. September 26th. It's a pay-per-view doubleheader. I didn't even expect this, and I'm going to explain why. Jermall Charlo is fighting Sergey Devinchenko. Now, if you know Sergey Devinchenko, he just fought Gennady Golovkin. Previously, he fought Daniel, the Miracle Man Jacobs. He gave both fighters a run for their money. These are two top-rated guys. Triple G was for a belt against Devinchenko. In my opinion, Triple G lost that fight, and I think the world knows. Even fighters like Devin Haney, who was in the crowd and in attendance, said that Devinchenko won. Go look at DAZN, because it was on DAZN. Go look at the Triple G Devinchenko highlights and go read the comments. That's your homework. Go read the comments and see how many people picked Devinchenko. So for Jermall Charlo, who people, hate on the Charlo brothers, this is a great fight. They say Charlos don't want to fight nobody and all these lies and dumb stuff. Devinchenko is a live dog. That's a pick'em fight. Personally, I think Charlo edges it, but I like Devinchenko. He's rough. He's rugged. He's dealt with cuts in the Triple G fight. He got knocked down. That man got heart, because cuts and knockdown, and a step up in class or whatever, those things are a combination of the right things to, in essence, knock someone off of their game plan, to the point where they're like, I'm out, and they mentally check out. Not Devinchenko. Also on September 26th, you have Jermell Charlo versus Jason Rosario. What? That's light. That's light bars, bro. What? Jermell Charlo versus Jason Rosario. In case you don't know, Rosario is 21-1, right? And it's ironic because the guy that knocked him out is the guy that J-Rock knocked out. Or excuse me, J-Rock fought. J-Rock fought and beat. And he fought J-Rock and knocked him out. His last fight. And ironically, it was this year before the pandemic really was known about. Rosario, he's coming off the best win of his career, just like Devinchenko. So you have Jermall and Jermell Charlo fighting two guys in what should be two unifications. Devinchenko should be the IBF champion right now, but he got jerked by the judges. So really, this pay-per-view doubleheader has two twin brothers, two champions, two outspoken guys, two fun styles to watch, even though they have their differences in the way they fight. And really, it should be two unifications, because the world knows Devinchenko really kicked Triple G's ass, for lack of a better word. And then Jason Rosario. So you got the opponents, the ops, that are difficult styles, durable guys, power punching guys, good record guys, and they're both coincidentally coming off of the biggest win of their independent careers, their respective careers. Shout out to Jermall and Jermell. Real lions, real dogs with this. Then you have Sergey Lipinets. He's only lost to Mikey Garcia, a quality guy. Kudratio Abukukuharo. I'm not good with names, but y'all can see it on the screen. He's undefeated. Lipinets looked great versus Lamont Peterson. See, and the thing I like about this Showtime schedule is this is a freestyle video. I don't have a teleprompter, cue cards, or flashcards helping me out. And I can tell you where each person is in their career just off of memory, like Jay-Z. I promise it's perfect. It's one take. All I need is one take. You know why? Because you followed the careers of all of these guys in the matchups, versus there's a lot of promotions, and I'm just being real. There's a lot of promotions and fights being made in boxing where you only know one guy if you even know him. There's some promotions where I see a main event and I'm like, who and who? You know what I'm saying? Or you know that guy, but you don't have no clue who he's fighting. All of these fights, I can't honestly say. I'm telling you, I know where each person is in their division. I've heard of them before the announcement of this Showtime card. So shout out to Lipinets. He's coming off the Lamont Peterson. He looked good. He stopped Lamont Peterson, put him into retirement. Moving on, Gervonta Tank Davis, pay-per-view. Kid's a star. Undefeated, 23-0. I got to figure out who that one guy is that got away that he didn't stop. Because Tank is looking like a savage, and he's fighting Leo Santa Cruz, a volume puncher, a Mexican-American who has a long storied name in the career. If you look at Leo Santa Cruz's record, bro, he got way more fights than Tank. So this could be a tough fight for Tank. You know what I'm saying? Tank also has to cut weight to go back down to 130. To my understanding, this fight is at 130. This fight is for 130 and 135 pound titles. That's kind of unique. That's kind of weird. But I guess it's happened before with Sugar Ray Leonard and the Lonnie dude, or whoever the dude he fought. The name is, I'm forgetting the name right now, but I don't care. People are going to nitpick on that. I don't care. Like, we got franchise champions, all types of weird stuff going on in boxing. I just want to see the fight. And either way, even if the 135 title is at stake, Tank earned that. He stopped Gamboa and dropped him 3 times. I was at the fight. So it's not like he has a paper title. Like, you know, we don't know how he got it and he just got franchised or something. Tank Leo Santa Cruz, I don't even got to say too much, but looking at Leo Santa Cruz's record, 37-1-1, that one loss is to Carl Frampton, which he avenged, and I was at that fight against Frampton. So, I mean, this is just some good fights, bro. Then you have Lil B-Hop. He got a movie on Netflix, or a movie that has him in it on Netflix. Check that out. I think it's called Counterpunch. November 28th, and he's fighting Jaime Arboleda. And I think he just fought the guy that got knocked out yesterday on top rank card, Jason Velez, if I'm not mistaken. And that was a difficult fight, but he got some pop. I seen him. He got some pop. You know, Chris Colbert, Lil B-Hop, he's been looking like a monster. He's undefeated, very slick in there. And then you have Nordine versus Nonito Donaire. You know, PBC came up. Donaire is a veteran in the sport. He looked good versus Inui. He looked good. He broke Inui's like orbital and his nose and his jaw and stuff like that. So that's a good pickup. Veteran versus this undefeated Nordine, 17-0, 12 knockouts. And I've watched him a couple times. Man, crack. And it's funny. It's very funny. Like, you know, I was going to go a little bit deeper because I got the email from, it says Big Time Boxing is back. And I don't know if that's a shot at Top Rank, because Top Rank said boxing is back. And this says Big Time Boxing is back. So it's kind of like the same thing, but they just said Big Time Boxing. So they kind of little boyed Top Rank. It says Showtime Sports Premier Boxing Champs return to the ring with a robust live boxing schedule spanning the next 5 months, 9 live events. You know, we already read that part. New York, Showtime announced this, boom, boom, boom. We are proud to announce the strongest and most comprehensive schedule for fights in all of boxing. Steven Espinoza. That's facts, bro. So listen, I told you this is everything you want to know. I'm going to go real quick through some of the other ones. A couple highlights that I like. Liam, he on the Fulton Leo card, the Mayweather TMT fighter. Tremaine Williams versus Liam. Joe George, 10-0, 6 knockouts versus Marcos Escuero. You know, they both have similar records. That could be good. I'm not too versed on that. But I do like this pairing. My man, Rolando Romero, knockout puncher. Watch out for him. He's in the interim, a WBA interim title fight paired with David Benavidez. This is 2 killers. This is 2 killers, bro. This is 2 guys with some pop, and they go in there to try to hurt you. So I like that pairing. My man Rolly, right, he really be trying to knock people out the ring and all that. So he's fighting against Jackson Marinez, who's undefeated, bro. So this will be probably the best fight for the title, the best guy that Rolly's fought. You know, 19-0, undefeated, got more fights than Rolly. Rolly's a knockout artist. Let's get it. And it's for an interim title, which is where he's at in his career. So, you know, collect them titles any type you can until you can get the real ones. Then you got Otto Vailin versus Travis Kaufman. Tough fighter from Philly. I think he got sick with this Rona when it first came out, but obviously they'll test him and all that. Travis Kaufman, I've seen him for a while. He fought Luis Ortiz, probably his biggest fight, or one of his bigger fights. Otto Vailin, he fought Tyson Fury. Everybody remembers that. Tyson Fury with the 2 cuts in the eyebrow, trying to wild out, right? So that's a great card. Like, you got Benavidez, you got Rolly, you got Otto Vailin, who gave Tyson Fury all he could handle. And then you got him fighting Travis Kaufman. Solid. I like it. Erickson Lubin card. Remember, I told you this. After Gary Russell fought, he's Mongolian. His name is King Tug Nyambiar. That's a good fight. I told you I'm watching for his next fight because Nyambiar gave Russell. Russell started getting tired in there, and I really rate Russell. So he can scrap for real. Nyambiar can scrap. And he's fighting Eduardo Ramirez, who I believe lost to Inui. I think he lost to Inui. Don't quote me on that. I can pull it up, but I know I've seen the Eduardo Ramirez. And then it got my dude, Jaron Boots Ennis. His opponent is TBA, so I don't know, but if it's Jaron Boots Ennis, count me in, bro. The kid is he's 25-0, 23 knockouts. Jaron Boots Ennis from Philly, definitely a fighter you got. He needs to be on everybody's radar. Bro, this is some heat. Jaron Boots Ennis is real, bro. I see him doing, and I trust me, I really do this boxing talk shit. I don't just give this out. You know me. I don't just give this out. But I see him do little Roy Jones Jr.-esque moves, like for real. And I know everyone wants to compare, the next Mayweather, the next Sugar, Shane Mo, all this stuff. But I really seen him do little stuff like that. Obviously, he has to keep progressing and stuff, but he's well-rounded already. And his fight with Ayubov, that was an eye-opener because my dude Kareem Mayfield fought Ayubov, and I thought he beat him, but it was a comprehensive, competitive fight, But Jaron Ennis, when he fought Ayubov, it was just like massacre. Jermall Charlo, this is crazy, bro. They really got both Charlo brothers on a pay-per-view, and they're both in what I said earlier should be a unification. Then they're doing like 2 separate cards, but it's all under one pay-per-view. That's crazy, especially in the pandemic. But they also got Omar Figueroa brother Brandon Figueroa, undefeated, versus Damian Vasquez, good record, 15-1-1. Diego Magdaleno, I've watched him a couple times. He got knocked out by Teofimo Lopez versus Isaac Cruz, 19-1-1 with 14 knockouts. These are some good fights, just to supplement it. And then on the Jermell Charlo, Jason Rosario unification side, you got my man from Texas, Mario Barrios. He had that tough fight on the, what card was it? It was the Errol Spence. It was the Errol Spence Sean Porter card. And his eye kind of got swollen, but he toughed it out, got a late knockdown. And he's fighting Ryan Carl, who's been on PBC several times. Daniel Roman, he was with Eddie Hearn and DAZN, but they didn't renew his contract. So he's making his debut on this pay-per-view. I mean, imagine that. Leaving DAZN in Eddie Hearn's rematch room, and then your first fight, you're on a much anticipated Charlo doubleheader Showtime pay-per-view card. Sergey Lipinets card, they got Javier Martinez. I think he's with Mayweather Promotions. Claudio Marrero. Malik Hawkins, who's a Mayweather Promotions fight. He's fighting Subriel Matias. I remember he lost on the Wilder Fury 2 card to a top-ranked fighter. So that's his one loss. But he also, in case you guys know, he's the guy with the dyed hair that actually had the fight with Maxim Dadashev, and Maxim ended up passing. That's the guy that he fought. So, he definitely has power. And he's fighting Malik Haskins. That's a dangerous fight, It's a dangerous fight because Malik Haskins, he's on the up and coming, so that's a good fight, bro. Malik Haskins, they moving him pretty fast. His last fight, he just fought that Darwin Price, bro. They moving him kind of quick. And then they didn't really announce the Tank's undercard, Tank Leo Santa Cruz, but the little B-Hop, let's see. They're putting Richardson Hitchens. He's homies with Tank. And he's fighting Argenis Mendez. What? Argenis Mendez is the one that Robert Easter knocked out, but he got some pop because after Robert Easter knocked him out, he had some fights where he was looking good. Like he fought some names like I want to say Pedraza or something. He fought somebody. Hold on. I know he fought somebody after the Robert Easter fight, and he was looking all right. Pause. He was looking kind of nice in there. Hold on. I told you this is everything you need to know, bro. We going. Okay, so the Robert Easter. Oh, he fought Luke Campbell. That's who it was. Hold on. Is that Luke Campbell? Yeah, he fought Luke Campbell. The one that fought Lomachenko. Yeah. So I know he had a couple of joints. So he's an experienced guy. He fought Miguel Vasquez, Robert Easter, Luke Campbell. Then he fought Ivan Redcash, and he beat Ivan Redcash. Wow, see? Yeah, I knew he was fighting some people. Then he fought Eddie Ramirez, Anthony Peterson, and now he's fighting Richardson Hitchens. So he got experience, bro. He fought Rancis Barthélemy. That's who else he fought. He fought him twice. This is a monster schedule, bro. Showtime did their thing. You just got to know boxing to know some of these other fights. And then the co-feature for the Donaire fight is not really determined. So, man, kudos to Showtime. It's over, bro. It's over. I know. And see, let me talk about, I didn't even want to talk about the haters too much, but we're going to talk about the haters a little bit. The haters is livid. They are livid. Old media is livid. Listen, I don't care. I just want to see good boxing. You got to give credit where credit's due. Showtime, PBC, salute. This is the best fight since the pandemic for sure. There's no, and the scary part is this doesn't even encompass or include whatever Fox PBC is going to do. That's just the reality of it. And I think Top Rank cards, I think they're done. I think they're taking a break for a minute. Like, I think their whole schedule, Oscar Valdez was kind of the end point. You know, they were doing like a 4 or 5 week run, and that's over until they get their next batch of fighters. So it'll be interesting to see how Top Rank responds. But a lot of the Top Rank, I'm just being real, a lot of the Top Rank ESPN cards miss me. You know, they're coming on Tuesdays and Thursdays and stuff like that. I didn't get to catch all of them. And a lot of them didn't, you know, raise my antennas and stuff like that. But it's not just them. Frank Warren, you know, Eddie Hearn's fight camp. Eddie Hearn's fight camp just got, the main event got canceled. Just look at this though. Look at Chris Cyborg. Chris Cyborg, UFC, Strikeforce champion. She says, I think Showtime Boxing has made a stronger return to boxing than both DAZN and ESPN. Great job, Steven Espinoza. This is Chris Cyborg, a combat fighter and athlete. She says Showtime has made a stronger return to boxing than both DAZN and ESPN. But when your boy Ego say it, I'm the bad guy. Say hello to the bad guy, man. Huh? Okay. Now I'm the y'all a bunch of now I'm the bad guy. You see? You see? Bro. Competition is great, but DAZN got to keep up. You know, their main event, look. Update. Cecilia Brækhus versus McCaskill has been elevated to the main event. Like I reported, Julio Cesar Martinez, rematch room and Canelo Promotions fighter. He's ill. They said he got a sore throat or something. And now their main event, the fight where they're fighting in the street, is off. So they just elevated the co-feature. And then you have old media talking about, what? That's light. That's light. You talk about all, like, old media is trying to act like all this is not, they're not impressed by that. I see people talking about Canelo Golovkin 3. Canelo is fighting in 7 weeks. We don't even know who Canelo's fighting in September 12th or if he's even fighting on September 12th. Man, old media, it's over. Shout out to Showtime. It's over, bro. It's over. Nobody's believing that. This is you got 2 Charlos on one pay-per-view, and people are trying to act like, oh, this is not pay-per-view worthy. Oh, Tank versus Leo Santa Cruz is a good fight, but I don't want to pay for it. Stop being cheap. I'm paying for it. Listen, I'm paying for it. Don't talk about it. Listen, old media, they like to talk. They want to keep talking about all these fights. But and try to get clicks and views and write articles about it. Don't talk about none of these fights. Leave it to your boy Ego. I'll talk about it because I'm interested. Point blank, period. Checkmate. Let me know what you guys think. New media forever. It's over. Death Row East, believe in that. Sign up for ESPN Plus below using my link, the Patreon, the channel member, all that good stuff. We working. Shout out to Showtime, Steven Espinoza, Al Heyman, the Charlo brothers, Tank, you know, Sergey Devinchenko. Man, stop. I'm out. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxingego, the future of boxing.